חזרת בי, נשמעתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. נודע לי נשמעתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. שחזרת בי, נשמעתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. שחזרת בי, נשמעתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. שחזרת בי, נשמעתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. Once more with feeling. מודה לי לפניך, רוח שחזרת בי, נשמעתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. שחזרת בי, נשמעתי בחמלה, רבה Hello, KZOOMers. We are so happy to see you and to have this time to practice together. And you know, when I look around the KZOOM room, I always look and I say, okay, where's the juicy faces? You know, how do you because you got to learn how to do that on KZOOM. It's like, you know,
I think every single face is pretty darn
pretty
juicy.
pretty juicy.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Pretty juicy faces.
Oh, and kisses. Yes. Hey, Julie.
Some just names, but
Exactly.
juicy names. But the juicy face is what's going to help us in our to inspire us in our practice, because the curriculum that the Song of Songs gives us is a curriculum that you might call, in the Native American term, all my relations. It has to do with how the presence of God shows up between us and how establishing relationships on the spiritual path is absolutely essential, and kind of creating a kind of a conversation where the beloved can show up between you and another. And you know, and really, what I think what we're doing, you know, what the work is really dissolving this illusion of our separateness. It's like, really, we are all related, we are all connected, but we live as if we're not, and we have very kind of strong, dramatic stories about not being connected. And so our spiritual practice is really meant to cut through that. So the way that the Song of Songs gives us this curriculum is that, you know, last week we were there with the watchman of the walls, feeling beaten and bruised, and then we called up this Shomrei HaChamot, the power of awareness. And what happens is something kind of magical happens. Those watchmen of the walls who seemed like our enemy are transformed to become the daughters of Jerusalem. The daughters of Jerusalem in the Song of Songs represent our companions, our allies on the path. And it's only our own, open heart and expectation and willingness that allows for that transformation to happen. And the daughters of Jerusalem, with the daughters of Jerusalem, who it doesn't, you don't have to be, you can still be a guy and be a daughters of Jerusalem. With those daughters of Jerusalem, this conversation is opened up, and through the conversation, we come to clarity. We come to ourselves. We come to kind of know the presence of God that is between us. So if we want to look at that first practice that we're going to do, and I guess it'll show up in the chat because of wonderful Aliyah.
Thank you, Aliyah.
And it's it's each of us is turning to our friends, to each other, and saying, if you find my beloved, you must tell him that I am in the fever of love. There is a kind of a risk that I am taking in my life to step onto the spiritual path, which to the outside world looks like madness. It's really, sort of opening up the inner realms that are not evident to the outside world, and entering into this place of being in love, and in love with everything. And it is a beautiful place, but it also is the supremely vulnerable place to live. And without my companions on the path, I wouldn't have the courage to go there. So I look to them, and they open up a conversation with me that helps me to stay the course, to be in that place of love. And so that's the place. That's where we are now in the song. We want to, I remember one time one of my directees was going to put up a mezuzah on her door, and I said to her, you could write in the mezuzah anything you want. This is Jewish renewal, I said.
Mm-hmm.
You can write whatever you want in that mezuzah. What would you like to remember as you walk through the door? And she kind of went inside, and in a moment, she said, fall in love. That's what she wanted to write in her mezuzah, so that every time she walked in her door, she would remember to fall in love. And it was very moving to me. Because it takes some courage to be in that fever of love. So so as we chant this, imagine that you are turning. You're kind of coming out of your place of isolation and turning to all of your companions on the path. The people who are here, the people all over the world who are also on this path of love. We turn to each other for that strength, for permission, for courage. And we sing. dodi, mah-tagidu lo, ahavah ani dodi, mah-tagidu lo, ahavah ani Chocolate ahavah ani
chocolate, ahavah, ani,
im dodi, mah-tagidu, chocolate, ahavah, ani, im dodi, mah-tagidu, chocolate, ahavah, ani, chocolate, ahavah, ani, chocolate, ahavah, ani, chocolate, ahavah, ani, chocolate, ahavah, ani. So let's practice our swoon. Our swoon.
Chocolate, ahavah, ani.
Are you swooning?
Chocolate, ahavah, ani. Chocolate, ahavah, ani. Chocolate, ahavah, ani.
So I used to sing this song with my sister when I was young that was called "You're Not Sick, You're Just in Love." Do you know that? Do you know that song? It's an old song. I hear singing and there's no one there. I smell blossoms and the trees are bare. All night long I seem to walk on air. I wonder why. I wonder why. I keep tossing in my sleep at night. And what's more, I've lost my appetite. Stars that used to twinkle in the skies are twinkling in my eyes. I wonder why. And then the other person says, you don't need analyzing. It is not so surprising that you feel very strange but nice. Your heart goes pitter-patter. I know just what's the matter because I've been there once or twice. But your head on my shoulder, you need someone who's older, rub down with a velvet glove. There is nothing you can take to relieve that pleasant ache. You're not sick, you're just in love.
Oh, my darling. That was for me. And you.
In the
She loves you
fever,
too.
in the fever of
the
love.
fever of
But
love.
you need your friends to be able to help you at those moments of swoon. And as I said, this is that feeling of being in love is also a kind of a sense. There's a sense of vulnerability there, a surrender to that, and in order to be able to live in that way, we have to find support from the daughters of Jerusalem, from our companions on the path. And, it's like the lesson of support is not just, it really has to do with developing a way to receive that support. Because I think it's always there, but we don't always, have the receptors to receive it. We don't lean into that support. And sometimes the support comes from all my relations, not just the human ones, but the four-legged ones and the winged ones and the leafed ones and the clouds. And, there's so much of the beauty of the world is here to support us. And when I allow my heart to feel supported, then this courage, this fearlessness arises inside me, which is something I need in order to be in relationship. And there was something that I said last week that I just want to repeat that says our deepest fears control us, limit us, and make us feel disconnected from ourselves and each other. Yet fearlessness is in our nature. It just needs to be awakened. So that fearlessness that is necessary on the spiritual path. And, I think, Whitney, we need to find that fearlessness because on every step of the spiritual path, we are letting go of who we were and opening up to who we are becoming, to the unknown. And the moment that we feel fear, we regress back to what we know and who we were, which doesn't allow us to step forward on the spiritual path. And so developing that fearlessness or trust in, to be able to step into the unknown is essential. And it feels like we can, that's one of the reasons we need each other. And so these words from Psalm 112, Samuch, libo, lo yira, and I sing it in the feminine, Samuch, liba, lo tira, can be translated as heart supported. Now, a sense that my heart is supported, and that support sends me, awakens in me a fearlessness. And the fearlessness is just to be completely who I am and who I am becoming. So if you imagine, just put your hand on your heart and imagine that your hand is the messenger from all of our relations, all of the ways that we are connected. And we want to put that message into the heart, really so that the heart can stay open. Right? So when that heart knows it is totally supported. And this is, for many of us, this is such a time of the brokenheartedness of in the world. And so it's extra important to be able to stay open through that brokenheartedness and not shut down. Samuch liba lo tira Samuch liba lo tira Samuch liba lo tira. And sing this to your own heart. Samuch liba lo
Samuch liba lo tira. 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 Samuch liba lo tira.
Once more.
Samuch liba lo tira. Samuch liba lo tira.
So I invite you again to put your hand on your heart and feel that hand on your heart being a kind of a messenger from all my relations, everything that I'm really connected with, but kind of caught in the illusion of separateness. Kind of reconnect with the feel of your hand on your heart. All of creation supporting you on your path. And as you send that sense of connection into your heart, find in the center of your heart really that spark of courage awakening in response to that support. And just allow that courage to to rise up, the courage to step into the unknown, the courage to feel whatever it needs the feelings are in you, the courage to clear away old habits. And I invite you now to just to take that hand that was on your heart and put it out to the screen here to see if we can send that sense of support to each other through our hands. You might even put the other hand up too. Yeah. Just to let it pour through you. You are the messenger of all of creation, sending to each other that sense of connection, support. Go for it. And just see who's sending that to everyone here. And one last gesture of taking that into your hands from everyone else and putting it inside your own heart again. All that KZOOM energy inside you. Yeah. I should say, and let us say, Yum. So,
why not?
So I was thinking about this, this kind of relational energy, and it brought my attention to a part of our liturgy that's called the Kedusha. And there are different forms of the Kedusha. Means the holiness, and it's an essential part of our prayer service, and it's made up of different psukim, holy sentences from the prophets that describe their visions of what the angels are doing. The angels are singing to one another. And it's said in the midrash that the song that the angels sing to each other is what holds this whole reality together. It's their song, and what they're singing to each other is a song of permission, a song that gives each other permission to sing. It's like it's almost as if that permission from each other is absolutely essential to give the song its power to shape reality. And it feels like that we, on this path of love, also are giving each other permission through our courage, really. Like when I see someone who has the courage to be totally in themselves and not, afraid, I feel like it gives me permission. I was thinking about this one time. I happened to be at the Temple of the Universe. Do you know? There's a place in outside of Gainesville,
in Florida.
called the Temple of the Universe. And I was at the Temple of the Universe, and there was some devotional singing that happened there. And there was this one young woman in the crowd of people who was so filled with devotion that she was moving in such a way that I looked at her at first, like I was a little embarrassed at first, but then I was like, oh, you could do that? You could really do that?
I want to do that too.
Yeah. And in a way,
she gave permission.
She gave me permission to totally feel and express that love, through my body, and and realize that like what other people think of me is none of my business. That's but the way that it felt was so pure, so kind of like out there. So I never met her, but it's like her devotion really kind of unlocked something in me. So that's what this next practice that is from Psalm 30, that says, "Let my glory sing to you, and not be silenced, not be shut down because of my own shame or self-consciousness. Let it flow. Let it happen through me." And it is just this is my liberation. And again, this is what we can give to each other. We give each other that permission. And the kind of I always say there's a good silence and a bad silence. The good silence is really what opens me up, and the bad silence is like, it means being shut down. It's like someone saying "shut up" to you, and you internalizing that "shut up." But instead to be able to say Yizamercha. And for those of you who have been my students for a while, you know that I do this with a little bit of an Italian accent because of
She's on a gondola.
I'm on a gondola. And really and that was just from watching cartoons. I've never actually been on the gondola, but I've watched the cartoons of the gondola. Gondolier, right. Yeah. So if there's a little Italian accent, that's okay. So what we want to do is to be able to use this to feel the permission to let that glory sing through you. And this is what happens when you allow yourself to be in love, to fall in love. That love wants to be expressed. And it can be expressed lots of different ways, but it just wants to be expressed. So I'll invite you to, to begin to sing it, and then let it sing you. Open up, play with it. Rachmel's going to sing that melody there, but you can sing harmonies and improv. Just let it sing. We'll sing it through just plain first. המלך chavod ולא ידום. He's a מלך 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 chavod ולא ידום. Once more. He's a מלך chavod ולא ידום. He's a מלך chavod ולא ידום. He's a מלך chavod ולא ידום. take in that permission. And let's now open our eyes and give that permission to each other. Saying, yeah, go.
Sing it.
Yeah.
Yes, America.
So, this idea of spiritual friendship, feels so important to me. And, I think there was a couple of weeks ago, I think I shared with you, that I wanted to be a nun. And, except, with a better wardrobe and a sex life. But I wanted to be a nun. And I realized that there were two components to being a nun that was the yearning in me. One is to really place this, love at the center, to feel that was a core identity, that being in the intimate conversation with God, the beloved, I want as my core identity. And then the second yearning has to do with community, with being in community with other lovers, and to have that spiritual friendship that we support each other and in. And then I was asking this question, about learning how to be a friend to others too, and I was asking this question: what are the midot, the qualities that I need to cultivate that will make me a good friend, a good companion? And I thought of this practice, which is called the sea lion's question. And it's called the sea lion's question because I went on this pilgrimage to learn praise from the animals in the Galapagos, and I swam with the sea lions, and had this wonderful time swimming with the sea lions. And afterwards, I felt like they were asking me a question, and the question took the form, because it took the form of Psalm 34, verse 13. But this was what the sea lions, I think, were asking me, and they were saying, who is the one with a passion for life, loving every day and seeing that, and just not even seeing, just looking for the good. And I thought those three qualities, that passion for life, that sense of of loving no matter what, loving every day, and then really, really putting my attention on the good, on looking for it, seeing it, uncovering it, that those are the qualities also that I look for in a friend, and I look to embody as a friend. So I wanted to sing this as the question that is being asked of us, so that we can, after we finish chanting it, we can find that yes in us, to volunteer for this job. Who is it? Who's the one? Who is it? Isn't it funny that the first word is me?
Me.
Me hechafetz Ohev yomim lirot Ohev yomim lirot Chayyim. Ohev yomim lirot hechafetz Chayyim. Ohev yomim lirot Ohev yomim lirot ish hechafetz Chayyim. Ohev yomim lirot ish hechafetz Chayyim. Ohev yomim lirot Ohev yomim lirot ish hechafetz Chayyim. Ohev yomim lirot ish hechafetz Chayyim. Ohev yomim lirot Ohev yomim lirot ish hechafetz Chayyim. Ohev yomim lirot. Who is the one with a passion for life, loving every day and seeing the good? Anybody? Anybody volunteering for that
I
job?
see some volunteers. Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah. Yeah. Want to be that one? Yeah. So that's.
I volunteer.
All
I
right.
volunteer. I think everybody is volunteering. What do you think?
Volunteering. So when you volunteer, it means that you are volunteering for being a spiritual companion to each other. So if you look around and say, "Oh, here they are. Here are my beloveds. Here are my friends. Here are the daughters of Jerusalem, who will keep me honest." So
inspire me.
inspire me. Yeah. We need that. We need that.
My highest self.
So, so I'm going to stop the recording.